Welcome to Level M Diecast, everybody. Another episode of course, found on Amazon. A couple of 1/50th scale trucks today, so this will be a little bit of a niche market for most viewers. Did pick these up, of course. Did pick up a couple of better 1/50th scale stuff previously. Put some of that stuff on my Instagram about a week or two ago. But these are, super cheap stuff, made in China. But most of these are like knockoffs of better actual castings that cost actual real expensive money. This particular truck here, I believe, was $26.99, so $27, which is a really good deal. It is 1/50th scale. There is your little Amazon tag right there. Comes in this nice giant box. Of course, it is 1/50th scale, so it's big. As far as on the back, there is a second color, although Amazon only has one color. They do not have this color, but there is your color. Let your experience different feeling, have more fun. Don't you just absolutely love the translations on these boxes? It's just insane. Professional dump trailer diecast model car, it says. So we'll go ahead and pull this out. Just opens up on one side. Slide it out, hopefully. There we go. Pretty decent packaging. Some ridiculous deets, should you want some ridiculous deets, mumbo jumbos and stuff. Of course, there is the two models here, two different colors. Of course, like I said, they don't have the yellow and blue one. They only had the orange and green one, which is the one here. There is a little cardboard excerpt, paperback thing in the back, which looks like some rocks, which is okay. We'll set that to the side, get that out of here. It does come in this double clam here. So just set it down and lift the lid off. Go ahead and pull the truck out. Don't anticipate there's anything to assemble or anything. There's not. There's no additional pieces. So we'll set this down here. Get that off the studio. There is our diecast truck. So this thing's actually pretty hefty. This is plastic. All the green is plastic. I can tell you that for sure. But it's relatively hefty. Let's see how the trailer comes off. I think it just detaches normally. Maybe. Let's see here. There we go. The trailer does detach. There is the bottom of the truck. There's your fifth wheel. There's the bottom of the truck. Oh, look at that. It's got steering. Very nice. That's actually pretty impressive. Actual dualies on there with single wheels on the front. Very nice soft rubber tires. Very, very nice. Screwed together construction. Steering is really, really nice, actually. Look at that. Actually looks really, really nice. Totally, modeled off a Mercedes 100%. Of course, doesn't say Mercedes on there, of course, because it is off-brand. Does have the mirrors on the side, which look pretty good. The Hyuna, that's not actually how they're sold on Amazon. So this one's actually sold through like something that has nothing to do with like trucks. It's really, really weird. But like I said, I'll put the link down below like I always do. It says heavy truck there on the front. It says Max truck on the top. That is just printed there for the sunroof. Doesn't actually go through. There is an interior in there. You can see a steering wheel in there. Looks pretty good. All the orange is metal. So it's actually quite heavy. No deets on the back as far as like taillight prints or anything like that. But the headlights are lensed, which is very nice. So very, very, very nice actually. Actually, it rolls pretty good. As long as you don't crank the wheel too far, it rolls perfectly fine. You crank it too far, the rubber kind of gets caught up. All right, here is the dump trailer, which is ridiculous, extremely heavy. The entire chassis is metal. The entire chassis on this thing is metal, with just a little bit of a plastic addition for the crash bar in the back. Got your, warning stripes on the side. Says Hyuna on the front. Has a cylinder on there. This is got some landing gear on it. For some reason, the landing gear only goes forward rather than backwards, which is kind of interesting. But it does have landing gear, so it does sit there. Anticipating this does move. There you go. It does dump up. That's as far as it goes, though. This is all you're going to get. There's not too much multi-stage in there, and the standing gear is just terrible. But that, you know, it works. It dumps. It's a metal cylinder. It's not all plastic, which is pretty good. There's a ladder added on the side, which is not too bad. Triple axle in the back. Prints in the back. There is your warning stripes, taillights and stuff like that. Oh, it has little pieces to keep the flap from coming open. You just roll those open. It's like that. And then, of course, it opens up. Wow, not only is the chassis metal, the whole bottom of the dump is metal. Look at that. Maybe a little bit better to see it on this side. There's all metal in there. No wonder this thing is so heavy. That's actually pretty impressive. It's got quite a bit of heft to it. This thing weighs quite a bit. Like I said, the whole top is plastic, unfortunately. But it doesn't look too bad. It's a standard snap-in fifth wheel hitch type steel. Not typically one of those ones that necessarily is from the side. Although it looks like you might have a better shot of getting it in there from the side. So just kind of throw it in there. There we go. That's not too bad. Actually a pretty good one. So pretty snazzy. All right, I got one more truck though. Don't you worry. Got more than one item. Set that truck to the side. This one is going to be far more difficult to show off, I think. This is a crane. I do believe this is based on a Grove chassis. Obviously, this won't be licensed, clearly. It says Professional Auto Crane Engineering Vehicle Model, it says. There is the deets on the back. The one on the back has like these black hubs and stuff. It actually looks really, really good. I think that one looks better. But, you know, it's whatever. Let you experience different feeling. Have more fun. Good thing everything is translated so that we can read it in perfect English. All right, we're going to pull this out. There is your Amazon deets right there. I will put the link down so you don't have to worry about it, but it does come from Amazon. Number 1702. The other one we looked at was 1731, and Amazon does have way more trucks than just these two on there. So this one has the exact same style of backdrop to it, which just looks like some simulated rocks. This one looks a little bit more involved. Okay, looks like a key. We pull the crane out. Crane's not all that heavy. Actually, I feel like the truck was heavier than the crane, which is not necessarily a good sign. So we'll go ahead and take a look at this crane. The color looks fantastic. The boom is plastic. This is plastic. That is metal, plastic. And then there is a metal chassis in there. That looks pretty good. You can see the engine in there. It's pretty good details. It has a quad steer, or 6-wheel steering. So this wheel axle steers. Well, I guess that one doesn't really steer. That one's more fixed in place. There, it has the pieces to steer. It just doesn't steer. And then there is the rear axle there. Some details on the bottom there for like the hydraulic lines and stuff. That looks pretty decent. Looks like this one had a little bit of a production issue, but it's all right. It's on the bottom. You don't see it. As far as the steering goes, it looks pretty good. It catches pretty decently. Not like the truck. It catches pretty good when you're cranking the wheels. But it does steer pretty good. It looks pretty decent. As far as the details on the side, it says Hyuna. It says truck. Says speed truck, because cranes are speed trucks. This is metal, so that's nice. That'll weigh down the boom here. It does have outriggers. See if the outriggers work. Showed that they worked on the back of the box. Let's see if we can get these to slide out. That one slid out. Oh, there we go. A couple more. There we go. That got to slide out. There is the rear deets. It has a little bit of ballast on the back, but it's plastic, so I don't anticipate this thing's going to hold up all that well. And then a little bit of taillights print on there. It is extremely far off the ground. As a matter of fact, I can slide this little plastic piece under there. So see if these turn to put the outriggers down, or if the outriggers just come down. There is a screw in the bottom, so I anticipate you'd probably have to unscrew it We'll just see if that is the direction that it works. So unscrew it. Not sure how far out it'll go. If it goes out at all. Guess not. So it screws into here. So if you unscrew the foot, it doesn't really do much. So unfortunately, it's not actually going to touch the ground. But as far as the boom goes, put the boom up. Super, super stiff. That is a metal, hydraulic in there, so that looks pretty good. Again, this is plastic. I do worry about this part right here because of how stiff this is. If that would hold up. But as far as the rotation, it does turn 360. A little bit of detail on the back. This is going to be way too big to go out into the studio area, but there is a warning sign on the side of the operator cab, and of course they're all detailed on the inside. This doesn't open or anything like that. As far as the boom goes, let's see here. Looks like a little key. Let's see if there's something that's, oh, right there, activated by the key. So you can see the boom coming down. Unfortunately, it's on the opposite side because, of course, it is. Let's stop moving so much. So, turning the key, it does come down, but it's pretty stiff. Looks like there's like a little flap right here. Not sure what that flap's for, but I'm sure it's something important. So, give it some space here. There is a little notch right here to keep the boom from sliding back and forth. So that looks pretty good, functionality. As far as the, oh man, just so much plastic. I just really worry about that. So it has 1, 2. See how much slack we can get out of this. And get the last boom section. See if it opens or not. Oh, man, this thing is just not user-friendly whatsoever. And part of it might be just because it's new. It's really stiff. Get the key back in there. The key doesn't like to stay in there. Let's see if I'm turning this the right way. See how much slack we have. I do apologize. This thing is super cumbersome to try to work with. All right. So 1, 2, 3 stage boom. Ooh, that thing is like super, super. Look at that. Super. Look at that. What? Can't get enough slack to get the rest of the line out. Ooh. Oop. Going the wrong direction. I want to see how much line you actually get. All right, that's pretty much way out there. And it does have eye holes for each one of these sections, which looks pretty good. Look at that thing. The thing extends clear across the studio. That is about, I'd say that's about 2 feet. Extends out about 2 feet. Now, unfortunately, I won't be able to get this to display in the studio because of how tall it is. But what I want to see real quick, again, and I do apologize because you guys are just looking at nothing but my arm. I do apologize. What I'm going to try to do here is I'm going to try to see if I can get enough slack to get the boom to go up. So it's about as much boom as I get. Hold this. Hopefully I don't break this. Oof. It's so stiff. It is so stiff. And I really don't trust this plastic. Because it's all plastic. The boom's plastic. The base is plastic. Oh, man. All right, so I have the boom all the way up. And it's holding pretty good with the way it's standing. Not falling forward. As far as turning the boom to the other direction, though, yeah, that thing's going to fall. 100% for sure. Those outriggers, ooh, they're holding it. They're holding it, but barely. Barely. And it's all plastic. Like, it's... Oh, I guess, I don't know. It's a weird kind of plastic. Actually, you know what? No, it's plastic. It's just a really, really tough, durable style of plastic. And it folds back in there very well. Ooh. See, I have like a ton of slack now. So get these outriggers in. This one is the most cumbersome to use thing ever. On display, I think it'd be awesome. Definitely recommend this for display. But as far as like usability, I guess, and kids playing with it and whatnot, because after all, it is supposed to be a toy. I guarantee you they're going to break it quickly. And the key does not stay in there worth of nothing. There's like no friction in there. So just trying to get the line taut. Get the line up. Get the last boom section in there. I can definitely tell you that it seems pretty good as far as like the line not like knotting up and whatnot. So that's a good thing. So there we go. That's pretty much real time reeling it in from maxed out. Oh, man, dude, it is just so brutally stiff. Oh, man. I recommend that if you use this thing, hold on to everything and brace it well, because if you just try to push it down, you're definitely going to break all the wheels off of this, because it's just not very intuitive. It says power on the side. That's the last deal there. And then, of course, there is the details on the front, which look pretty good. Definitely a Grove crane for sure. Couldn't tell you which model it is. And then a little bit of exhaust detail on the top. So it's got quite a bit of detail to it. So that is the crane. And then just for size purposes, we consider them to be both 1/50th scale. Nah. I think this one is probably going to be, this is probably closer to 1/64 scale versus 1/50th scale. That is definitely much, that's actually probably 1/50th scale, pretty much right on the dot. But this one is definitely not 1/50th scale. It says it's 1/50th scale, but I guarantee you this is more like 1/64 scale. It's kind of in the between, but definitely closer to 1/64 scale. So don't forget my key. So there we go. A couple of things from Amazon, a couple of trucks. Do apologize about the crane. Thing's super cumbersome. If you want to pick it up as a display model, I highly recommend it. Looks fantastic. It's cheap. This one was also only $26, so they were both only 26 bucks each. And I think for a display item, it looks very realistic, looks very, very good. Doesn't matter. It doesn't need to say Grove or any of that licensed stuff on it. Then as far as this goes, super playable. If you want to buy it for your kids, definitely. If you want to buy it for your collection, definitely. I'm definitely going to put that in the collection. I'm actually pretty happy with that truck. I think it's a really, really good deal for 26 bucks. And the crane's an even better deal for 26 bucks. But the outriggers are terrible. The outriggers are terrible. So if you're going to put those up, maybe make little platforms for the outriggers to sit on. If you're going to display it up, and then it'll be perfect. Good to go. So let me know what you guys think about that. We're going to roll out. Of course, Level M Diecast. Catch you next time. Peace!